Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, June the 18th, and we're going to go live here and see what we can see in the pre-market. See if we find anything interesting in the pre-market that will satisfy what we're looking for profit-wise. Let me go over here and make sure that Instagram is up and running. There we go. Good morning, Instagram community. Good morning. Good morning, those on Twitter. Good morning, those on YouTube. Good morning, those on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. What was that comedian that would do that? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm trying to think of who that was. Maybe somebody on here knows what comedian that was that would say, Good morning, everybody. Oh no, that was somebody on like that morning show. One of those radio morning shows used to do that. Used to do the good mornings. Alrighty, so let's get on with it. See what we can see here. Got a little bit of ground to cover. If you've got an idea for a stock you want us to look at, I've got a couple ideas, some that are in the news, and we may want to take a check and see if there's opportunity for us. Next Era is one of the ones I'm looking at. So put that in here if you want to. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves. There we go. Got the main screen going. Make the main screen the main screen. Yeah, I wanted to see. It looks like on Instagram, it's not live. Maybe it'll start looking live. Anyway, the VIX right now is 12.68. It is down 0.07. Yesterday, the market ran and ran and ran some more. It basically was like, you're not going anywhere without us. We are going to. So it kind of stuttered a little bit at the open. Let me get us on a time. This time frame is probably fine. Okay. I have to maybe turn off some of the things that make the chart look all crowded, make the chart look like it's a lot happening on there. Okay, let's go with that. I think just turning off the boxes for the strat really helps us out. This is yesterday. Basically, talk about a trending day. I remember Good Morning Vietnam. I remember that one. But I think there was a radio personality who would come on and go, Good morning, everybody. I think he would do like George Wallace, maybe. That sounds like a George Wallace. Anyway, yesterday, this was the move. All day yesterday, this is SPY we're looking at, which SPX and those would look very similar. And then it got to the end, got a little tired. I think I was tired, boss, and decided to just chill out a minute and give itself a break. And then it pulled back this is the 65-minute chart. So it pulled back for the last almost 2 hours of the day, it looks like. Pulled back off of there. And then this is where we've been all night long, basically been cooling out in the post-market and pre-market, just been chilling out. That's what happened yesterday. All right. We'll see what that looks like. What does that translate to today? Right? Investors can't afford to miss the AI rally. This is I think the CEO or whatever of NVIDIA. The AI trade has powered stocks to record highs, and this theme will only grow more important. Citi pitches money-moving crown jewel as a central revamp. S&P 500, NASDAQ hover near records ahead of retail sales. AI enthusiasm prompts 3 Wall Street banks to raise forecasts. Okay. Stocks are at record highs. Why should you stay invested? Why a popular tech ETF is set to sell Apple and buy NVIDIA. I think that's interesting. Chinese EVs are driving into Mexico. Yeah, EVs seem to be going in all the places. And I don't think we should miss that revolution either, to be honest. So this is CNBC. We got our pre-market numbers. At this point, the Dow futures is down 10 or 0.03%. S&P futures up 2.25% or 2.25 or 0.04%. NASDAQ futures up 43.5 and 0.22%. Oil is green, 10-year bonds are red. S&P futures are little changed as investors await May retail sales data. I'm interested to see what they are because I feel like people still doing what they was doing before. I was talking about Next Era Energy. It says hot utility stock Next Era falls nearly 5% after announcing a plan to sell $2 billion in equity units. Next Era is going to sell 2 billion in equity units priced at $50 a piece, which serve as a contract to purchase shares no later than June the 1st, 2027. I wonder why that made it fall 5%. I wonder why that information made it fall. Good morning, Janae. Look at you in here at 8:30. I see you, sis. Senator Warren warns Powell against weakening banking regulations. Do your job. I think I agree with her. We need you to stand strong, Powell, and not to fall into the pressures of all the people around you. We need somebody who is exempt from all the pressure to keep the ship in the middle of the water. S&P 500 futures are little changed as investors await May retail sales data. I already said that. Stocks making the biggest moves: Lazy Boy, Next Era Energy, and Kroger. I think Kroger has earnings this week, so that may be what's going on. But people are probably going to pile on the Next Era. We're going to I'll chart it in a minute. Earl, good morning, Mr. Earl. Mr. Earl says triple witching this week, which is a very good point. This is the third week of the month, the third Friday of the month. So generally, because everything's generally, the stocks pull back during this week because people are selling off their positions, closing out for the month. And it may be this week, definitely by Friday, you kind of have a low day, and then it ramps right back up that afternoon because people get in new positions. And when you buy and get in new positions, then things move back up. So keep that in mind. This week, EV startup Fisker files for bankruptcy. Oh man, I thought, when we talking about Fisker last week, I thought Fisker was getting a pump a little bit last week. Well, so let's see this morning. Core retail sales. I need to refresh this so I can see what the numbers came out to be. Okay, so core retail sales was anticipated to be 0.2%. Last month it was negative 0.1%, and now it is negative 0.1%. They thought it was going to be up, and it's not. It's right where it was last time. So core retail sales, people aren't out there spending the money like they thought they'd be. Retail sales 0.1%. They thought it would be 0.3%. At 9:15, we're going to have industrial production month over month, capacity utilization rate. 10 o'clock, business inventories month over month. FOMC member Barkin will speak at 10. At 1 o'clock, we have Kugler speaking. And at 4 o'clock, of course, the market will be closed. Long-term purchasing. Tomorrow is a bank holiday, and the market will be closed tomorrow. Tomorrow, the market is closed. Okay? Tomorrow, the market is closed. Your Juneteenth day. Enjoy your day off. They had a little Juneteenth festival here over the weekend. I was out of town, but they did have a little free festival they had going. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so let me see if anything on here. Fed Collins is going to speak at 11:40. That wasn't mentioned on the other one. And Logan is going to speak at 1 o'clock along with the Kugler. And Goolsby, oh my, Goolsby, I've noticed in the past that when Goolsby speaks, it says 1 star here, but I've seen it move. I've seen things move. So that's at 2 o'clock. We actually have a lot more Fed speakers today than showed up on the Forex calendar, but there's several Fed speakers throughout the day today. So you want to watch the landmines because sometimes they lead to landmines. Okay, let's look at earnings. Yeah, there we go. Take me to the stage. Let's look at our earnings. Lennar had earnings last night, and from what I gather, it didn't fare too well so far. The market hasn't opened yet, but I'll show you really quick what happened to Lennar when it put its earnings out. Okay, this is Lennar. This was yesterday after market. The earnings, it had a big pop going upwards. And then it fell right on back down, whoop, but it now come back up. It's at 153.72. Actually, it closed yesterday at 152.20, it says. Is that the closing price? It doesn't seem like that would be the closing price because that would be below here. Maybe that's what the current price is. 152.33. Maybe that was the end of the day. It says 355. I don't think it closed there. Let me go to another time frame. I I think that's what throws it off. At 65 minutes puts us right on the exact. Anyway, it closed here at yeah, this is the closing of 156.57. Yeah, and then it's now in the 153s, 153.23 right now. Lennar is based on earnings not going so well. Probably has to do with, good morning, Deborah. Hey, Nori. Probably has to do with the home sales and how that's going. There's a few, some new home builders are on the scene. I won't say anything about the one who built my house. Y'all have heard my story, but Lennar may be a good one. I don't know anything about them. As far as building goes, I don't know nothing about them. Lazy Boy was last night. Quantum was last night. This morning, we got Cognite, Patterson, and America's Car Mart. After market close today, we're going to have KB Home. So we'll see what comes out of KB Home today. And then nothing tomorrow morning, but tomorrow afternoon, we'll have Steelcase. Kroger is going to be on Thursday, and so is Darden, but we'll talk about those as the week progresses. Lennar at this point, and KB is going to be this afternoon when the market closes today. Let's look at Adam, what Adam had to say. It's posted since Saturday. SPX built a perfect 3-day bull flag. Yesterday, 54.22 triggered long for the breakout as posted, and we lifted off. Lift off. Tighten stops on your runners. Plan 54.79 equals support, but it is weak. As long as we're above that, then we can flag out for 54.80, which is like another point, right? Can flag out for 54.80, 54.94, 55.05. If 54.69 fails, then we can back test the flag 54.47 to 49. The difference between ES and SPX is still 70 points. At this point, I checked again this morning. XSP 551 on the call side, 544 on the put side. Got people who are trading XSP, and we're trading it each day, or they're trading it each day, because you can take in 10, 15% premiums each day as a seller. You could do your PDT hack. If you want to use your PDT hack, you could use that. Lock in your profits, lock in your premiums, and go on about your day. And XSP moves, is the mini of SPX, and it moves just like SPX. Right. And it offers, because we got 0 DTEs, you can, put in your trade as a seller. We like theta decay, take in your premiums, let it expire worthless. And if you are concerned about using a day trade, you use your PDT hack. The PDT hack is a way to work around the PDT rule. So if your account is not as big as $25,000, right, then you can use the PDT hack to be able to trade daily expirations without using your day trades. Okay. If you want to see the strategy that goes with the SPX and XSP, you can find it at spxplaybook.net. spxplaybook.net. That strategy, $27, and it actually includes the PDT hack in there. If all you need is the PDT hack, though, you can go straight to educatortotrader.com and look for the PDT hack, just that information, and you can get the resource and the videos to go along with the video. I think it might be one, maybe two. The video to go along with that at educatortotrader.com. Okay. What trades did we get into yesterday? Did anybody get into anything yesterday? I was busy working, and I missed my entry on SPY, because SPY had in my chart, I mentioned to my community, I had it on my chart that to enter at a certain place, but I didn't make it into an alert. I just put it on my chart. And because I wasn't looking at the chart, I ended up missing the entry, trying to make sure that we're ready for Chart Your Way to 100K. I want to make sure that we're getting everything we need to be ready to do Chart Your Way to 100K. If you were looking to get in on that, we're starting it this Thursday. We're starting this Thursday. Well, the training is available to you now. You get that, the training pieces you get immediately. The interactive coaching piece starts on Thursday. If you want the $200 off of Chart Your Way to 100K. I was on a call yesterday, and I was listening to a call, and I was very surprised at the number of people who were on the call who were deep into a strategy, who had no idea, first of all, what a candle was, How do you mark the pre-market open, pre-market high and low? What do you see? What does it mean when a candle closes above something or closes below something? Some people didn't even know that it was called a candlestick. They didn't know how to look at like the dailies, and it was going on and on and on. And these are people who were actively trading a strategy, but the basics of the chart, which is what the person was teaching, was showing how to use the chart to identify these areas. And there were people on the call, many of them, so most of them, a lot of them were on the call and didn't have a clue about the charting piece. And the strategy was completely based on price action. I was like, I didn't want to usurp anybody else's space because people don't like when you do that. But I was like, I got a charting training that y'all might want to lean in on. So that way you could get some of this stuff set up and you won't have these same questions, right? And if you do have the same questions, you're at least having the questions in a space where you're learning the charting versus having the questions in a space where the person is really teaching the strategy. So the foundation of the charting knowledge is what we build all these strategies on. But if you don't have the foundation, you can't build a house or a solid, you got to have a firm foundation. I could start singing it. I won't right now, but you got to have a firm foundation. And the foundation in this case is these charts. So, okay. Good morning, Ward. Good morning, Lisa. How y'all doing? Okay. So, did anybody look here? Love, I think, triggered yesterday. I saw something pop. Love was on a different list, was on a list. Let's look at that one. We'll look at Love today. We can look at Citigroup and Wells Fargo. I want to go to, what's his name though? I want to go to the energy. I want to go to the energy stock, the Next Era Energy, which is ticker NEE. Ticker NEE. I'm gonna start with the daily chart. Since Next Era Energy has some news, it's probably going to have some more downwards pressure. It's currently down here at 68.50, as you can see. I'm not sure if y'all can see. Hopefully you can see that it's down here. The current price is 68.50 down here in the pre-market. So it closed up here and it's no longer there. Okay. It closed yesterday at 72 and now it's at 68.50. But let's look, if this creates a gap, which it will create a gap. I'm just going to put us a loose gap here because that's really all we'll need. If I was to put a gap just between where we are now and what current price is in pre-market, this would be the gap, right? So we could go to the top of the top of the gap, or we can go to the bottom of the closed candle from yesterday, and we could look at that. Could put that on as our position. What I don't see here, and I just gonna look at my phone because if I try to open it up on this here, it's gonna take a minute, and we don't have the time for all the pieces that go along with Thinkorswim to come on. So let's go. I'll look at the numbers here while we're on the call. So if we're looking at a call credit spread, which is what we would be, let me see, the plus minus number is 1.8. What is the yellow candle? It goes along with one of these indicators. Goes along with one of these indicators. I think it may be time frame continuity. Let me see. There it is. It went along with the moving average one. It's green. It's a green candle. It went along with the moving average, which may be a place where there was a crossover. One of these indicators had it turned yellow. Okay. Anyway, let's look here. We're at 72, which is going to feel kind of high, right? 72, we're at a plus minus 1.8. And if you're currently at 68.50, then 1.8, even if you went up 2, you're at 70.50. So partway through this gap, you've got a support here on the pivots at 71. So you really could probably look there too. I see 72 as the 73% probability out of the money, but that's going to put us back up here. You may not need to be up as high as that. right? But I think I know though those who are hanging out with us. Let's see, call credit spread. I'm going to say using um, mm, plus minus number. Now it is Tuesday, and you're looking at this for a Friday expiration. So you are going to want to think about what's happening come Friday. That it could come down to hit the bottom of this. It could hit this and then bounce back up. You want to be able to, being at 72 would definitely put you above this gap. But remember, these gaps usually have like a 50% mark that will also play support and resistance. So if you were to look, and this gap is not complete because the market hasn't opened yet. We're about 40 minutes away from it being open. But if you're at 70.45, you're also like the 50% mark here. So that may give you a better place. I would use the plus minus number once the market got open. My whole point is that a call credit spread may very well work because Next Era Energy has news. Let me see what kind of, if we were looking at premiums, of course, they're not going to be accurate right now because the market is closed. But if you were looking at like 72, yeah, that's not accurate. 72, 73 is showing it's going to pay $25. And I'm real shocked. It's 72.5 pays $25. Be very shocked that it would do that. Yeah, we need the market to open so we can see those numbers. Put it on your list though. Next Era Energy needs to be on your watch list. Okay, watch this. May be an opportunity for you to enter. If it continues to go down, you may be able to get on out. Now, good point. Today is Tuesday, right? The market is closed tomorrow. So because the market is closed tomorrow, you may want to go ahead and enter what could be like a 1 DTE, maybe a triple Q, a SPY, 1 DTE. You might want to yeah, I know, Tanya. You might want to look at that because you're going to have an extra day where Theta is going to help decay those premiums, right? You're going to have an extra day of that. The peak bot entered me into T triple Q on Friday, and that trade, it was set for this coming Friday to expire, but that trade was ready to close yesterday. And I closed it I took more than 50% premiums off of it. That big move up yesterday kept moving T triple Q because triple Q was moving. So I was able to close my trades just over the weekend, and they were set to be weekly credit spreads, but they were able to close yesterday. The bot is probably going to enter me into those trades again because that's what it does. I have to say though, I was doing the, let me turn this calendar off so I can talk directly to the people. I was doing the triple Q. I'm in the triple Q 1 DTE run where the peak bot enters it enters today for tomorrow's expiration. It does this on triple Q. You can do it on SPY or triple Q. I'm using triple Q. And so yesterday morning when the market started moving up really, really strong, the bot actually exited my sold leg and let the buy leg run. Now that's a decision that for me to make on my own is difficult because then I'm worried that what if I close one side? What if I close the sell leg and it doesn't keep moving? What happens when that would happen? So it's hard for me to make that decision on my own. But the bot did it for me. The price moved all day long. So by the time it was all over, basically I ended up in a higher profit as a result of the bot. And then at the end of the day, the bot closed it when it was time. So, this is where I'm saying all this stuff to say sometimes we're in a situation where we can't personally make the move to turn off or turn on. But when, an automated algorithmic effort is happening on our behalf, then you just can watch it do what it do. And that's what happened with me yesterday. And so instead of being 100% breached, which it would have been, total, max loss, the bot made the moves that I in the past have not always been able to make on my own. Okay. So yes, Pierre, that is Trading View. It's Trading View. That is what that is. Trading View. TradingView. Okay, AVGO has done well with general investing. On paper money, I had a long call and vertical spread that would have netted 12K, but I was scared. Yeah, Pierre, that happens. I'm only up about 1,500 in real money. Well, don't say only up about. Don't say only. If you're up 1,500, don't put only in front of that. Don't be minimizing the money gains. Okay, you're up $1,500. This is good. There are a lot of people who don't have 1,500 in their whole account. So if you're up 1,500, you're doing great. Had a good time in Triple Q this week too. Trading View is what I said there. Okay, cool. So now let's go back to look at love. I saw that love makes me. Oh, we're on the daily chart. I saw something about love, and I'm trying to remember what it was now. But it's on our put credit spread list, and it started even moving even yesterday. This was yesterday's move. Moved outside of this. Basically, this would be called a 2 up if you were looking at the strat. It's moved outwards, going upwards. 2 up came right to this target, and hopefully it'll keep moving up to this next target. Love might be worth a look. See, let's see if we look at it from a put credit spread. Put credit spread standpoint. We got support right here at 28.18. We got support at 28.18. We can look at and if you wanted this, has this gap been filled here? Where's my market? Where's my thing? Has this gap? Yes, this gap has been filled by this wick over here. So has no reason to come back down to try to come and do that. So let's do put credit spread at or below 28. Of course, do what you're comfortable doing. Not investment advice, but if you find you a good strike, I might go down to go. That's 28 also. Yeah, at or below 28. 27, 28 might be good. Right. Tell him again, Jamie. Jamie said, dude, you got 2 zeros behind your 15. That's not only. Do not minimize. The money's like, oh, you see me as only, huh? No. That's good stuff, Pierre. That's good stuff. All right. So that was love we wanted to look at. And I was going to look at Citigroup. Didn't we say Citigroup had something that was, they thought there was going to be a turnaround or something? Nobody put any stocks in the chat. Did we look back at I don't think I looked back at UPS or EMPH after yesterday. Did anybody get in UPS or EMPH after our session yesterday morning? Citigroup is actually on the Iron Condor list. And when this popped up here, first thing in the morning when I entered, when the market opened, almost all of my alerts triggered like pow, pow, pow. I was like, oh. And I was not even trying to run after all those things. So Citigroup would have triggered. Remember yesterday I talked about if it went past your resistance to go ahead and enter for your call credit spread. And then it's had a big old candle. It dropped a bit here. Might have even triggered the put credit spread, but it is right here in the middle. It's right here in the middle of it. Call credit spread. I'm going to go back and look at see what the numbers look like as far as strike prices go. Okay, so it looks like I got 58 at the bottom, plus minus 1.5. So 58 would work and 62. 58 and 62. Hey, Tamar. Call credit spread at 62. Actually, that's up pretty high, 62. Well, it feels high from here because we're, the candles are pretty big. But that puts you above. You really could go up here to 60, but it closed yesterday at 60.40, so this may feel a little close. But this is a good resistance right here. So really, you probably could get it at 61. Yeah, 62 would probably feel safer, but 61 would be fine. And, well, I think it would be fine. Put credit spread, I said 58. If you're using the plus minus numbers, then you're going to get outside of that. You can do it that way. You sat around and got your butt kicked by Triple Q. What do you mean, Tanya? UPS for Lisa. Woohoo! Jamie said XLI, XLE, ELF. Oh, you still working with ELF? You need to make sure you're still talking to Geraldine and Adobe. Morning, Tamar. I'm about to get rid of my Royal Caribbean. My other trading buddy said I should get some more profit about above 150. I think this summer is priced in already. Could be. Very well could be. And you know what we do here? Always. We trade what we see. Trade what you see, whether that's for the day or the week. I'm not personally a huge fan of going out more than a week or 2 weeks for options trading. Just too many things happen. And there's ways to capitalize on the shorter price action moves. Maybe not just the daily, unless you're not a day trader, but the weeklies. There's ways to get benefits off of the weekly trades or 2 week options. You don't have to go out too far. But listen, if you're trading with a buddy, you and your buddy work it out together. That's a good thing to do. Trading is a very lonely thing, and you do want to be able to trade along with your buddies. What did EMPH do yesterday? I think I cruised past EMPH yesterday and saw it was falling and was like, I don't know if I want to be working around with them. But yeah, call credit spread. It went past, it closed below this support. So now you've got, I don't like that. Let's see what we have on the line chart. All this is momentum. There's one spot right in here that we can go with. This was a valley that we can go with. Right at the bottom of this. Okay, so now that we've closed below that, this line, the line of 122.75, will become resistance. All right, so if you were looking to do that, now you want to, when you're dealing with EMPH, I will strongly encourage you to make sure that you abide by the plus minus number. Plus minus number 5.6, and the current price is 120, 122. Nope, that's not that thing. The current price is 120.82. So I would add 6 to that. 126. I would do, if I was doing EMPH, I would do a call credit spread at or above 126. Because EMPH can decide they ready to make a move. Speaking of which, wonder why tomorrow, do we know what's going on with all this downward movement that's going on? Let's see if something's inside this notification. In Phase Energy Insider sold shares worth 616,000. S&P 500 top and bottom performing stocks at 330. S&P top and bottom. So it's EMPH is struggling. It's an energy stock like that next era. But if somebody inside sold $600,000 worth of shares, I wonder if they might know some stuff. What do y'all think? So looks like we got a downwards ride going on EMPH. So you might want on in phase, you might want to consider a call credit spread. This is a weekly chart now. This was last week where we had this big old wick, but this big old inverted hammer or pin bar, if you want to call it, actually indicates that there was going to be, as candles go, this is an indicator that it was going to probably keep going. This big old wick here says it's a rocket going this way. I'm rocketing it down some more. And if you were to go, you've got your next trigger or next target could be down here to your support of 114, even as low as 110 and some change. Let me put some notes down. Okay. Let's look at TMUS, T-Mobile. Tanya says, I was in a call credit spread and just watched it go up and it ran for the hills. Yes, it did. Yes. Did it come to your strike, or did you exercise our guidelines that we've come into about closing it if it gets to double or 2x or 3x? Yeah, that's happened to me lots of times. Triple Q is notorious for that, for sure. You know how you love a stock, but then you don't? That's how I feel about SPY and Triple Q. It's like you can't get away from them because they offer opportunities, but you want to get away from them because you get sick of them just acting a monkey. T-Mobile, Still on the move. This is a daily chart. T-Mobile still on the move. It closed up here. It's closed that gap that was created right here. Now that this gap is filled, notice it filled the gap that was over here and then pulled back. So, but it still got full time frame continuity. The day and the week, you can't count those yet because the day is today, right? But if you want to go to smaller time frames, which I'm not sure why that one isn't giving me a smaller. I need a smaller one right here. Maybe because the market isn't open yet. So I'm going to go back to the daily. T-Mobile, I would still look at a put credit spread. Let me go see what our plus minus number looks like. I like to have my Thinkorswim open so I can share it on the screen, but it just takes up so much bandwidth. The plus minus number is 7 for Friday. T-Mobile be trying to be moving. 177. Plus minus number is 7. So I would look at 170, which usually 173 is our support. And if you want to go all the way down to the bottom of this is 171. So PCS at really gonna feel like how froggy you feel like being. It's a 2.5 spread. 172.5 is 79% probability out of the money. So I probably would go with that. Or definitely would suggest that. I might go with 175, but I wouldn't suggest that. That wouldn't be what I would suggest for people who were, following. That wouldn't be a good leader move. But 172.5 is a 79% probability. If you really want one more step, you can go down to 170. That puts you below this wick. If you wanted to be just below all this action, if you were concerned. But this chair here, this up, over, up is going to provide support for you, which is the same thing that happened right here. So 172.5 should be okay. If you're doing T-Mobile and Verizon, yeah, I hear you, Tanya, but give it a chance. The market's looking kind of exhausted. I look at triple Q, but the market's looking kind of exhausted as of yesterday. That last hour, it basically pulled back for the last couple of hours. Just like we just ran, you know how you run a horse, you have to go lay down. Okay, this is T-Mobile. This hammer here is an indication that it wants to go up some more. So, and you're at support. According to my pivots, you're right here at the support level. But we do have these as down. That's coming from all this downwards pressure. But I would look at a put credit spread. The current pre-market, it's at 39.46. I would probably take me a look at a put credit spread. It should actually be good premiums too, because if it's coming out of the zone, as it pulls out of this zone, you should be able to get good premiums. So got a plus minus number of 0.7. That's Verizon, yeah, plus minus 0.7. It doesn't move fast, huh? So 38.5. If we subtracted 0.7 from where we are right now, we'd be at like 38. 70, something like that. So 38.5 might be a good thing to do. Ticks. Put credit spread at below 38.5. Tanya said I'm exhausted too. Yeah, I hear you. Were you doing triple Q for the week or for the day? Are you doing it for the week or for the day, Tanya? Tanya said, I'm exhausted too. Oh, I know about that deer in the headlights. Okay. All righty, good people. Okay, so we've looked at Verizon. We looked at T-Mobile. We looked at Next Era Energy. We looked at ENPH. We looked at, I said I was going to go to triple Q. We looked at SPY. Janae, did you get in Netflix yesterday? I watched me another Bridgerton episode. I saw the wedding. Oh, what a pretty thing. The wedding was so nice. I love this for Penelope, even though it seems to have a lot of underlying things. This was triple Q. Once it got outside, this actually would have been a great trigger. Once it got outside of this candle here, once it got outside of this candle here, that was an indication that it wanted to keep going. But again, when you're focused on something else, that's what happens. But it did its thing yesterday. If we were to go to the 65-minute chart, like I was just mentioning, this is now looking at triple Q. 65 minutes. The reason I had to ask this question, why 65 minutes versus 1 hour, is because the market is open for 6.5 hours, right? And if you divide 6.5 into even candles, it would be 65 minutes, right? Because 60 minutes leaves that extra 30 minutes. But if you do 65 minutes, each candle is like an even amount of the day. But after we got up here to what's this, 486, it got right up here and said, "I's tired, boss." And it stopped and turned back around. And it turned around for the last two segments of the day, or 2 hours and 10 minutes, to be honest. It pulled back off of this top. Notice it has been hanging out in this same zone since market close. It's just not able to do much. So remember Adams thing said, up here you might want to trail your runner, basically trail off your profits and leave a runner or whatever. This may be why. That Tanya said I hopped in Friday. Oh, okay. You know what, Tanya? I told you that's when that Friday, and then I'll start doing that. When the bot starts doing stuff for me, I'll make sure I indicate that that's what it's doing, so that you all can see that. Because I took what I was just talking about, what the bot did in the morning of triple Q. The bot closed that sell leg for my triple Q. It closed the sell leg of the call credit spread side, and it let the call side run. And then it ran so much and so long that it basically superseded the profits. I have to make sure I say stuff like that in the chat, so that way if somebody else is in it, they'll see what's going on. Definitely, all's gonna be well. Okay, as what we're doing right now is learning the nuances of this whole dealio. And as we keep leaning in, I was told 3 to 4 years is where everything, the first 3 to 4 years, and then everything starts to really start to click, and it starts to turn around and get profitable consistently. Usually by then we've stopped. Usually by then we've stopped. What's called? I had a guy called it style chasing, or maybe strategy drifting. By the time we've been 2 or 3 years, we finally lean in on one thing we're going to do. And that's what and then you get better at that. I think what happens to us, and I'm putting us in the category, me in the category too, is when we strategy drift, we don't ever get to where we're really great at it until we lean in on one real strong. So that's what we're doing. Ward, it is on Netflix. You have to start with season 1. Okay, you got to start with season 1. Don't try to jump in on season 3 and catch up with us right now. You need all the backstories, so that way you're not gonna be stuck going, "What is going on here? What is going on here?" Alrighty, so we talked about the chart your way to 100K. If you're gonna, you want to get in on that, you should go ahead and do that. The debit spreads, if you're trading as a buyer, but you don't want to spend all that buyer money on those contracts, you may want to do some debit spreads. Debit spreads is definitely a way to allow you to trade some of the bigger boys and catch up some of those pops. And if it moves, the way it's going, you can put a little bit less money on the table, and you don't have to worry about theta decay. Nowhere near as much when you got debit spreads, because the theta is basically canceled out from the buy and the sell leg. Alrighty. So that you can go ahead and grab that over in educatortotrader.com for $27. $27. Yes, $27. Educatortotrader.com for the debit spreads course. Alrighty. E2T membership, we're here for you. Weekly training, monthly training, daily training. We're here. I'm here for the people who are in our membership, those who who are learning to trade as sellers, leaning in on strategies, and even expanding. Because, like I always say, as I expand my knowledge, I expand. I help it, try to teach what I learn. I'm learning to the group. That's the way we do that. All right. Our declaration: I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Woohoo. Lord, that you give us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. All right. I am wrapping us up too, because I'm going to go see my daddy today. I didn't see my daddy over the weekend, but he had some big news today and I'm going to surprise him. So I'm going to go down and celebrate with him. He doesn't know it. And I'm going to show up and celebrate with my daddy. Okay. So I'm going to have to get on the road here in a minute and go do that. All right. I want you all to have a really good green day. Trade light, right? Trade strategically, trade wisely. To make sure that we're getting what the market has to offer us, because it does have lots to offer us. All right. We're going to make sure that we're getting our piece of the pie. All righty, everybody. We'll talk again soon. I'll see you in the market. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money and we're going to have a great green day. All right. Let me see. I see a comment up here. Let me make sure I get my comments before I wrap us up. Make sure I don't miss any comments. Awesome. Thank you, Tamar. Thank you. Y'all pray for me and my son as we travel down to see my dad. All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you in the market. Bye.